take a bow to my mayor. I take a bow to the people on the dais because they have done wonderful jobs for the city of New York in spite of all the publicity. I thank y'all for y'all service. Several suggestions and recommendations.
Yes.
Is what we're concerned with at the table. The gentleman pointed a question out in regarding to housing for minimum wage earners. I've been asking that question for some time. So I'm sure that people would like to have a seat at the table to discuss. I understand the problem of mixed incomes is that we have to mix the incomes. Also, public housing. I'm a leader of public housing. My name is Maria Forbes. I started from the bottom, now I'm here. That's Eva Trimble. I'm a sister to another mother of hers. That I sit as the only public housing authority tenant association president at the United Nations. So I'm telling you that I'm involved in this and that we don't do it, we love it. And that's how I feel about what I'm getting ready to get up here and ask you. So his questions was why wasn't housing affordable or why weren't you creating housing? I understand the budget because I read the budget and I watch everything every day to know that we are only operating at 17% from the state. There's been a disinvestment from the federal government to New York City Housing Authority. And there has been a disinvestment to our city. So until we understand that, Cuomo been saying that for a long time, we send more money to the federal government than any city, and we don't get half of that back. So understand that when you say where's, find out where it's at if you do your real homework. So until we begin to make that equal in every borough of minimum wage housing for those minimum wage people who've been here, who's built the brick and the mortar of the city, it's gonna be a disproportion. That was one of our concerns at the table. My other concern is that the same building that fell down, and it goes to the Department of Buildings, the same building that fell down here in the Bronx is going to happen not only to the remaining of public housing authority buildings, but to the remaining of these buildings that we allow these bad landlords to get away with not operating them. HPD has put in as much as they can put in for what they built, but there's still a disadvantage here with private landlords not upkeeping their property. They're pocketing the profit. That's what they're doing to us in our homes. Vote, vote, vote in November. That's just going to be so important for all of us to do. But to DYCD, I've talked to a parent in Manhattan whose son was he wasn't happy. And I wasn't happy, and I'm sure a lot of us wasn't happy, and to be an answer to this gentleman's question. We didn't come up doing summer youth employment on the computer at home. We lost so much social connection with the children in the house to leave them in the house. Doing that on the computer was wasteful. People do not have courtesy, professionalism, respect. They don't have time, attendance, punctuality, or a whole lot of things until y'all put them back to work and introducing them to the employers and how to keep in the time. I think that that's where we'll raise our youth a little bit better. So next year, reconsider, do not keep those kids in the house. NYPD, they just know, they know how I love the job and the services that they do. So please don't ever look to defund them, because I always ask for police. I wish Marjorie was here. I was in Washington at a conference. They put me on CompStat last year. All the way from Washington, I got on CompStat and I asked to please put more officers in our communities. But we know that there's not enough. But for what I can say about the 44th precinct, what I could say about Alden and community affairs, what I could say about Daughtry, nothing other than I could call them at any time and they will answer the community's calls. It don't be Maria Forbes, with Maria Forbes, with Maria Forbes. Vanessa Gibson, Darshell Clark, Landon just got here. and he's put his money where his mouth is to do what he can for the community at the state. And I look forward to working with all of y'all. So, sir, do you feel I answered your question or asked your question in regards to where the rest of the housing is at? Because it ain't no money here. And until we get some money here, only thing I want to say is that if all of the people, I'm getting ready to be on it, right? The tickets is $175. So people say, why so much? I said, imagine going to a $10,000 per person event. And people do that. They raise money for other causes. Let's start trying to raise money such as that for programs or for servicing or for housing that we do need. And I think Carrie on going to let somebody speak to me about placing a person who had a fire, who's burnt, who's in the hospital, and who will be needing housing when she get out the hospital. And that's all I had to say. Thank you.
That's a lot.
Thank you.